Hey everybody, today we're back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about something that's very near and dear to my heart, which is playing defense. So you all know I'm a basketball player. I've talked a lot about just going into it being undersized. So I stand about 5'7". I'm not really bulky or anything, not super athletic. And so just over the years, I've had to pick up different strategies and different mindsets that I carry into when I'm facing up against guys who are bigger than me, more athletic than I am, maybe even, more skilled than I am, even though I don't like to admit it. What we're going to do today is just take a deep dive, look at some video, break down some film, and talk about what are some things that are going through my mind, some things that we can carry into the court so that you can grow your game and use this when you are facing up against players that may think they have a favorable matchup up against you. So let's dive into that now.
Alright, so here we are. This is a pickup run that I did. We're playing threes right now, and the guy I'm matched up with, this right here, he's in gray and I am in blue. So what this video is going to be, we're going to break down a couple of different concepts and mindsets that I carry into these games with me, and then we'll at the end jump into breaking down an entire game that we go through. So the first tip that we've got, prepare, and a lot of this is just about making sure that your body is ready for the bumping and banging that'll go on, because you'll see throughout that this guy is bigger than me, stronger than me, and quicker than me, and so he's trying to leverage that physical advantage. So I just got to prepare and know going to be facing up against something like that, and to prepare to bump and be physical and know that I need to expect that going into the game. And so one of the things is fighting for space. What I'm always trying to do is force him further away from his comfort spots. He wants to use his strength to get to the spot. So like you'll see in this first clip, which is actually a bad example of fighting for space, is that I let him push me into a spot where he's very comfortable. This is maybe like 7 or 8 feet away from the hoop. And so you'll see him just be able to rise up, turn around, and be able to shoot over me. Like right there. And I don't even get a hand up to contest. Same deal here. Better contest that time, but I still let him push me down to a spot where he was very comfortable just turning around and getting the shot off. So these are some better examples that you'll see now. See how before he was posting up about right here, and now because I prepared, I pushed him out a little bit as the entry pass was coming in. Now he's maybe 2 or 3 feet further back. And that may make the difference between him being comfortable in that range and not, or even just that backwards momentum of him fading away or being pushed out can make a difference in his balance. He still makes that, but it's a better preparation on my end. And as we talk about preparation too, this is also something that'll come up, is I have to be physically capable of holding my own and not just getting pushed around. So that's where a lot of strength work in the gym comes in, and that's why it's important for us as athletes to prepare our bodies in that way. Working on lower body power and strength, so a lot of squats, a lot of deadlifting, using our lower body to have a strong base and not get pushed around. Alright, so he's coming back for the exact same thing, and you'll see me now, pushing around with my legs, and that made the pass go off because he wasn't able to catch it on balance. And you'll see here, this is not him going up for a shot, but this is me boxing him out, and that's important too. He's trying to crash the boards and jump and grab the ball to get an easy layup, by pushing him out with my legs and with my butt and not using my arms, I wouldn't get called for a foul. And you'll see that using my lower body, he does not get leverage, and I actually push him out of the picture with this, and the ball goes the complete opposite direction. So again, he's trying to post up that same spot, and you'll see that little shove that I give him there. Just like because he's turning around, he loses balance for a second, and then the forward momentum that I have pushes him back. And so this next piece, control and working your disadvantages. So I know going into my matchup that for every step that he takes on a drive, I probably have to take 2 steps because my stride is shorter, or that I know he's quicker than I am, or that he's going to have the confidence to pull multiple moves. And so I have to work my disadvantages. If I contest his shot, like you'll see that I'm doing here, I'm not going to be able to reach up high enough to actually block his shot and alter it that way. So what I actually do, especially when I'm matched up against taller people, is I try to get my hand in their face when they shoot. And it throws some people off. This one guy specifically has gotten a little frustrated with me about doing that. But there's nothing illegal about it. I'm contesting the shot. I'm not making contact, I'm not poking him in the eyes or anything like that. That's not the point. And I actually picked that up from watching Shane Battier play defense on Kobe in one of those Houston Lakers series it was probably 10, 15 years ago at this point. But that's just knowing, like, when I contest, my point is to alter the shot, make them adjust somehow. Being 5 feet away from their face and my hand up in the air doesn't do anything to their shot, but having my hand right in their face might do something to that shot. So look for that as these clips play. So this is actually a bad contest. You'll see, if I can scroll to the right spot. Oh, this is the last clip there. I'll try to pause it on the right spot so you can see where my hand is. There, my hand is too far away from his face. That's not doing anything to his shot. So this is a poor contest on my part. And that was a better contest there. I actually got my hand under the ball into where he's trying to shoot. There's another contest there where I got right into his face. So this next piece, commit. This is probably the biggest mindset change I have to make going into one of these defensive matchups where I'm at a disadvantage, is that I have to commit to working harder than he's going to have to work. And that's just the nature of it. Because he's got that physical and athletic gifting, that means some of this stuff is going to come easier to him. He can drive quicker than I do just naturally. He's stronger than me just naturally. And what that means is I'm going to have to work harder to keep up with him. He's going to have the confidence to make a bunch of different moves. I can't give up halfway through and say, oh, I defended half the possession, so I'll just take the rest of it off. Now I have to chase him through screens. I have to defend multiple moves, stay down and stay disciplined and not jump on pump fakes and things like that. So you'll see some of that here. I think the first clip is actually a bad example where I don't fight through a screen and he gets an open shot as a result. So, all right, getting in my stance here because he's making his moves. Screen, and I try to go under because that's just a lazy habit, and he gets an open shot off of that. This is one where we just decided to switch the screen because that's an easier thing to do, and he got in for an easy layup because I didn't commit to working harder on defense. All right, so this is that preparation. He's making multiple fakes, staying active with my hands all over him so he doesn't feel comfortable putting up a shot. Okay, so right here, I didn't show the clip for the contest. I'm showing it for what happens afterwards, which is they get the offensive rebound. So it bounces to this guy with the ball here. And what happens is he's trying to cut in, and I'm already beat, right? I'm behind him, but he's trying to cut in for an easy layup off that pass. And what I have to do is I got to put in an extra gear to sprint to get to that spot and break up that pass. And that's committing to the extra effort. Right there. Don't get the steal, but I keep them from getting an easy layup. Alright, so this is here. He's setting up the moves. There's one screen that I fight through. He crosses back, you can't see it on the screen. Spin, and he loses the ball. That's not guaranteed to happen, but staying with him like that, taking the hit, and then going back up to contest is really important. One move, one cross, and then contest. Just committing to stick with him for each move. And so those are my 3 keys there. Prepare, control what you can control, and commit to putting 100% effort through the entirety of the possession. Right here, he goes through a screen, spin move, spin back, spin again, staying with him each time. Alright, so this is the full game here, and I'll try to keep this going at full speed so that we can come through here. Alright, so you'll see the same matchup, and he knows he's bigger than me. He's always trying to post up and get close to the basket for those shots. And that's on my prep too. I'm leaning into him, not giving him that sense that he can just push me around. Alright, there's boxing out, but the ball bounces long to him. Sticking with him through that offensive rebound and contesting the shot when it does go up. That was a nice pass. I'll say one thing as we're talking about defending a more gifted athletic player is that your cardio has to be on point. You can't be out of shape and do the 3 keys that I was just talking about. You can't be out of shape and actually feel like you're prepared. You can't control those disadvantages because you're adding more disadvantages by being tired or not in shape, not being able to run and chase after him. And you can't commit because you'd be trying to save energy the whole time. So you have to, however you do the cardio, I know I've said in other videos I hate running, but maybe it's just playing a lot of basketball. Maybe it's doing certain types of workouts that build that stamina. But that's got to be on point if you're going to commit to playing hard defense every possession. All right, so communicating on screens is important, and I actually had to rotate over here because I saw the other guy was not going to move. So sometimes it takes doing that, and sometimes you do have to leave your guy to defend the basket. All right, so he's trying to walk me down here, and this is another instance of if you have a whole team that commits to getting through screens, chasing their guys off, then you can have a pretty good defense even with tiny guys. And so that's one piece that's hard in pickup. You don't have a really organized system. You don't have a coach putting a whole defensive philosophy in place. So sometimes you just kind of take what you get, you put forth your effort, and you just got to live with the results of, what you put in and what your teammates can put in. And sometimes, as you'll see with some of these possessions, guys are just going to get hot and they're just going to score. And sometimes there's nothing you can do about that. and you have to be okay with that too as a defender. Point is that you're not trying to make it easy for the guy you're guarding. And so, like, knowing to be in that spot there, that's just kind of developing over time. You see other people's tendencies and what they're trying to do, and just being familiar with what reads are possible, that you might be able to see something like that. And that's some of that stamina at play too, going for those offensive boards. And this is not to stereotype. Sometimes players who are athletic can get undisciplined because they get by with being athletic. And so working harder can be a distinct advantage, especially in pickup, not so much sometimes in organized play. But you'll see that too. Just sprinting hard off screens, getting open, finding spots to cut to. That can pay off in a big way. It's hard to see some of the action there. One thing I do want to point out real quick is that, as you see, the ball is down here, and my eyes are tracking here, but I'm never turning my back on this guy, so I have to be able to see where my man is and where the ball is. And one way to practice that is, depending on your coach's system, is to have your arms out and be able to point at the ball is here, my man is here, and if you can't point at both of them, then you're in the wrong position defensively. So you sink back until you got eyes on both. They probably would have ended this game a lot quicker if they would hit their layups. That wasn't a great contest there. My hand was off to the side of the ball. And some people will teach that maybe you kind of distract them by having your hand off to the side instead of straight in line. But again, that's kind of a coaching preference and personal preference. We actually ended up playing them pretty evenly up until this point. I think this is where they start to take off score-wise. We'll see how I hold up in this possession. A decent contest there, and he ends up missing the shot. I get back in the picture after that offensive board. That was a clip that we saw earlier. And that's one where he just caught it way too deep. I needed to be pushing him out more, holding my ground a lot sooner, and instead of just letting him walk me down to the spot that he was comfortable in. Alright, so my hand's mirroring the ball. Still, contest is way too far away from him. Alright, see me push in, fighting for that space, and now he's farther away when he takes that turnaround shot. Not sure what happened there. I guess they called it a foul. That must have been a foul too. Yeah, he's arguing the call. And honestly, my guy in gray was off this game. A lot of those shots are shots that he usually makes. Um, so it looks like I'm playing really good defense, but he was just off that game. All right, so I chase him through the screen. He's pulling it back for that spin move. It's a good spin move. It's a quick spin, and if he had kept his handle, he probably would have been by me. So that's something that, again, recognizing people's tendencies and getting familiar with their moves. You start recognizing where they're trying to use moves on different places in the floor. Seven four, yeah, that's when they started taking the game. So if I remember right, this was a game to 11. And then a guy in orange got hot too. I think he makes. Oh yeah, he probably makes this one also. Yep. So now we're at game point. I don't know if we get any more buckets after this. Let's see. Oh yeah, we got a freebie off of his brick. Oh yeah, that's the game winner.
So I hope some of that was helpful. This is my personal approach to playing defense against guys who are more skilled and athletic than I am. If you're playing organized ball, your coach may have something different for you, and it's easier to scheme up against someone who's more talented and more athletic when you have a whole team on the same page. But just in terms of individual matchup, those different keys to commit, to prepare, and to control, those have all been super helpful for me as I've gotten away from organized ball and defense has become more of a one-on-one thing. So these are ways to minimize some of those advantages that someone might have who's more gifted athletically or more skilled or more confident out there on the court. So thanks for watching. I look forward to doing some more of these deep dives. I look forward to seeing you next time.